Hey guys, it's the solo ghostwriter and I am back with another video. And today I actually wanted to create a video on the types of services that us as ghostwriters could provide. I remember especially in the beginning, probably like my first 4 to 5 or even 6 months, I was really like frustrated because while I was learning the ropes of what ghostwriting is, it was just frustrating because all the course in PGA that it taught me was literally just 5 day EECs, 5 day EECs. That's what you need to really like focus on. And for me, especially at that time, I felt like I was bombarded because whenever I would outreach and try to provide this as a service, well, people never really like wanted to or really even responded. So I was like, you know what, I want to learn other services or know of other services that I can provide, so that way at least I feel a little bit more versatile and I don't feel stuck to just one thing, right? And that's what I ended up doing. I went through the whole course again, PGA, and I started to see if there was probably, parts of the course where Nicholas Cole would talk about that, if we could do other services perhaps. And turns out that the whole course really does not talk about any other service but 5 day educational email course. And well, I had to go to the very first video of PGA, the intro video, and that's where he mentioned the different services that we as ghostwriters could provide. And at that point, I was like, wow, like they really don't talk about these other, services. They really don't push it. I think the only time they ever push these other services is probably in the hot seats. And to me that's kind of like that kind of sucks, but it is what it is, right? That's the way they structured it. And we move, right? We move. So I wanted to share out the actual, different services that you guys can provide as ghostwriters, and I wanted to share it out because you know what, why not, like just share it out. And the first service that I wanted to speak on is landing pages. This one we've talked about quite a bit already in these past videos. And landing pages is just going to be a very good service if you really don't feel confident starting out with a 5 day educational email course. Well, you can start off small with a landing page, right? So learn how to build them, how to put on the copy, how to incorporate the email opt-in and make it look nice and pretty, all the design work, right? So I think landing pages are a neat little thing to learn and try to start off with. I think you can charge like max like three grand for these landing pages. But yeah, they're just not one of those services that you can really scale up in terms of charging price. The second service that as ghostwriters that you guys can provide is like also 5 day educational email courses, also known as EECs. But these you guys can really scale this service up a lot. I know in the hot seats by various ghostwriters, right? At least the big ones are charging like 50 grand plus. So it's a very lucrative service, especially if you get really good at it, right? But that is a very good service. I think that is one that you should focus on, of course. But like I said, if you want to start off small, landing pages are not a bad way to start. But now the third service that I would also speak on is social media content. And what you can do is write posts, write threads for CEO, for founders, etc. Right, business owners. If you can write posts or threads for these people, for these clients, it's going to be a very lucrative service. I think this you can scale up pretty high. I've heard different stories in the hot seats where people are making a pretty good amount for themselves with this service alone. I've even seen a hot seat where just a person just focuses on social media content and that is it. So, and I think it's very scalable when you think about it because with like X really growing, the way that they're monetizing for creators, the program itself, how you can like earn not only on X but also create a subscription on there, or even bring in customers, I think it's a very, very powerful service right now. If I really start to think about everything that is happening right now, especially on X alone. I know on LinkedIn I'm not too much of an expert, but on X I can really say you can really monetize really well on there. But LinkedIn, like I said, is more business oriented. I'm sure you can also do the same on LinkedIn. So I would focus primarily on those two guys. But the next service I would also speak on is email newsletters. This is also really powerful because it not only helps build, a nice relationship with whoever subscribes to your email newsletter, but like I said, guys, this you can always help convert customers who are already on that email list of your customer and convert them to full on customers. So that's another really powerful tool. Or just writing like these communities on these newsletters is also going to be a very big plus for whoever subscribes to them. They get to know a little bit more about whatever niche they're in, or whatever the niche your client is in, right? I think it's just a very big plus. You can create a very big community, a paid community even. So there is a lot to do with even email newsletters alone. So that's another good service, I would say. Um, the next one I would talk about is ebooks and PDFs. This is kind of like those one-time things where you can create a quick ebook or a PDF. I feel like this is more oriented towards like fitness type of niche, right? Running, all that sort of stuff, working out. I feel like those ebooks and PDFs are good on that sense to me. But overall, guys, I just feel like this type of service you can't really scale in terms of pricing. I think for this, for me personally, I would kind of just stay away from this. Another service that ghostwriters also provide are books, like actually writing books. And I think even Cole actually on PGA, he talked about how he wrote a book, and it just took a lot of time, right, out of his day, out of the year, to just try to write these to write books, right? So I think that's a very big con when it comes to this service, is the time frame it takes to write a book. I feel like in that amount of time you can probably sell a good amount of 5-day educational email courses that can equal the amount that you charge for a book, or maybe could surpass it. Who knows, depending on how much you hustle, of course, right? But that is not a good service, or not a service that I would really try to focus on. Another service, guys, is landing page automations. I think this alone is a pretty neat service, because while you can create a very nice landing page, put in the buttons and where to subscribe, etc., I think just making sure that everything is working on the back end of that page is really good. Good knowledge too, right? I remember when I started, it's really sucked to put the whole page together to get it to work. Because when I would even try to put my email as just a sample, just to make sure it worked, I wouldn't receive any emails. I wouldn't even receive it in like the whatever folder, right? The draft folder, etc. Yeah, I wouldn't even receive anything, and it was just frustrating, because it's like, come on, like I really want to get this to work, because I'm really trying to put this landing page out there, and it just wouldn't work, guys. And I ended up getting it to work, right? But still, it's a very powerful service that I think a lot of business owners who are trying to sell something would really benefit from. It's one of those things that you just really want to get out of the way, because you want to get things going, right? And that's something that's very, really nice service, like I would say. But of course, I don't think this is also one of those services that you can really scale up. I think this is pretty much right up there with the landing page. Another service that I would say is pretty lucrative, but it's been out there for a good while, is copywriting, guys. If a lot of people know, if you make really good copy, you can really, make a really good career with that service alone. I have met some ghostwriters who just focus on copywriting, and they do very well for themselves. And like I said, guys, that is a very neat skill. If you want to learn that, I would highly recommend that service as well. And then lastly, guys, I would say is YouTube scripting. And really, this can be scripting of any type of video creator, whether it be on TikTok, whether it be on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, or even Whatnot right now is one of those, new social media platforms that are on the uprise, right? But like I said, this is all kind of new, and I say kind of because it's not really kind of new. It's just very underrated, and I think right now it's just one of those services that you I would really try to get in on, because I saw this video on Think Media on their channel right a couple weeks ago that they said that Goldman Sachs predicts that the creator economy is going to go up by 80%, and that's a very big number, and they said this is going to happen by 2026, 27, or 28, one of those years, right? And that's a very big jump, right? And even you can use me as an example. Before this, I wasn't creating content, and I just got into creating content. I mean, I've been creating content in other niches, right? But specifically, of like face-to-face camera, this is like new to me, and I'm a pretty shy person, I would say, but I'm really pushing myself out there to, just for me. And like I said, I'm just proof. I'm just one of millions who are going to get into this, and if not already are into it, right? So I would say there's a very big opportunity when it comes to video creators. I think the scripting is going to be a very nice service and a very lucrative one, I would honestly add to that. But with that being said, guys, that is all the services. There's more, but these are the ones that I wanted to actually focus on. I think this gives you guys something to play with, something to think about. I think if I had to choose specifically which services I would want to focus in on, I think they're pretty obvious, but I'll say them nonetheless. Um, Landing pages is definitely one that I would focus on. The automations of 5-day EECs, writing social media content, email newsletters, maybe some copywriting, and then if you can do some video scripting for creators, I think those 7 or 8 are really nice services to really start off with, to really make you versatile. So those are the ones that I would probably focus in. If you really want to break it down and just focus on, like, 3 or 2, I think I would definitely put 5-day EECs up there, writing social media content, and probably, guys, I would even add in probably copywriting. I'm pretty big on newsletters. I think it's a very neat opportunity, but not everyone's going to be writing newsletters. Like, let's be honest on that one. So I think copywriting is a very neat one. And if you're not big on copywriting, I would probably do video creator scripting. I think that's another big one, that you can sub in for copywriting if you're not comfortable with copywriting, or at least not, well prepped in that yet. But like I said, guys, those are my advice on those services and the services that Ghostwriters could also provide, right? So I hope you guys did enjoy this video, did find value in this. If you guys have anything to share in the comment section down below, feel free to. Or if you guys want to see more on these services, or if you want me to create a video on something else, within the ghostwriting space, I'll be glad to read and to see if I can actually make a video on that. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And with that being said, peace out.